All right, everyone, I'm gonna go over some general guidelines on how to do a good task, and then we're also gonna go into how the rubrics for grading are gonna be structured. So I think all of these points are pretty clear. Basically, don't dominate the conversation, like let your partner talk. If we see that someone is speaking for more than 2.5 minutes uninterrupted, then the task is gonna fail. So don't do that. Ask questions, share the time. You should not sound boring. So right now I sound a little bit quiet because it's late, but you should be more expressive than I'm being right now. Please speak clearly, take natural pauses, and try to actually speak a lot during the task. Don't say things just like yeah or okay. Um, okay, this section shows us what a great task looks like, and we have a rubric that goes through this. But generally, um, you're going to pick a topic with your partner, and from the very beginning, you should start immediately talking about this topic. Like, don't waste time in the beginning. Be like, oh, hey, how are you? Oh, good, not bad. What about you? Blah blah blah. You should go immediately into your topic, and you should only talk about your chosen topic. Don't, like, if your chosen topic is sports, you shouldn't talk about movies or food also in the same task. You should only talk about one thing. Don't sound like you're reading. Don't sound boring. Your conversation must be balanced. We already went through that. Native fluency, of course. Try not to have any like big background noises or any like bad echoes or anything. So one thing that I pointed out here, which would help, is using headphones. That helps a lot. I highly, highly recommend that you get headphones for this project. Okay. And then don't include any personal identifiable information. Like, don't say your full name or, your passport number or anything like that. Okay. Here are what classifies a bad task. So, talking for more than 2.5 minutes straight, if you sound robotic, this one's actually quite important. Don't Be careful when you start recording. If you start recording and then in the first 2 seconds you're like 3, 2, 1, or hey, I'm going to start recording now, you're going to get rated a 2. So just don't do that. And then also don't end very abruptly. So like your conversation should end naturally. It shouldn't like get cut off mid sentence. That's also quite bad. Another bad thing is if your task does not correspond to the topic at all, and if like the first 3 interactions with you and your partner are just like meaningless chit chat, that's also quite bad. What else? You need to be a native speaker. So for the English tasks, you can have any of these accents. That's fine. But if you have like another accent, then you shouldn't be on the English project. You should be doing the languages one. And obviously, don't cheat. That's really bad. Okay, audio quality. If you live in a very noisy environment, then this isn't a good project for you. So you need to make sure that you live in like a relatively quiet place, and that whenever you're going to go submit your task, just make sure that you like listen to it and see that there's no like really bad audio issues. We have examples for these in the certification course later on. If your audio file is less than 10 minutes long, then you're going to get rated badly. So make sure that it's at least 10 minutes and then no PII. This is actually really important. So you're going to rate your partner with this rubric, and then this rubric is also how you are going to get rated by the reviewers. So it's actually quite important that we go over this. I think most of the stuff that we talked about is stuff that I outlined earlier. So again, don't do things like 3, 2, 1 start and then have that in the recording. That's really bad. No PII, no cheating. I think this one is quite important. So don't waste time in the beginning doing like chit chat. My advice for you is if you find someone and get on a call with them, don't record for the first minute, get a little bit warmed up, and then make sure that you're aligned on your topic and just start. Once you start recording, talk about it immediately. Like, don't waste time in the beginning. And then obviously if you have really bad audio quality, then we don't want you to be recording tasks for an audio project. So If there's any cases where it's hard to understand what you're saying because of like bad volume or distortion or echo or anything like that, then your task is also going to fail, and you should rate your partner bad if they have these issues. Okay, this goes without saying, but if we find that you're just recording random audio from like a YouTube video or something like that, you're just going to get removed from this project and flagged. It's okay if you make an honest mistake here or there with Zoom, but it's very easy to tell when people are cheating, so don't do that. And then one other thing to note is you're going to match with people through Outlier community. Sometimes it takes a while for you to get added to that. So what we've also done is made 24-hour Google Meets where you could just like drop in and then find someone to record with. So for example, if I was doing English, I would go to this one, and okay, Mr. Matt is on this call, and then I would join and just be like, hey Matt, do you want to do a task together? And that's pretty much it.